Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy, and in today's video, I am sharing a message that I received for the Lightworker collective I'm connected with that Spirit is saying is really important for this Lightworker collective to understand at this time. So I'm going to share with you the message that I received, and then after my meditation I felt called to pull some cards, and these are the two cards that came out. So I'm going to be talking about them also. It expands the message that I received. So this message began in meditation, and I heard, "You are the architects of the new world." And immediately my hands started vibrating, buzzing. And I went into a light language session. So I'd love to know if you're familiar with light language. Do you like listening to it? Do you like watching it? Do you even know what it is? It's a big part of my personal practice, and I love it. So I feel like Spirit is calling me to start sharing that at some point on my channel. I'm just kind of using their guidance to figure out when that is, but I would love to know if that's something that speaks to you. So I went into this light language session, and I heard that this is a third eye activation for this collective. So this is something that was happening for me, but also for this collective. So if this message is for you, if this is resonating for you, you are also receiving a third eye activation. So I heard, "We are clearing and strengthening your third eye so you can see more clearly what is possible, and so you can create beyond what you've been able to visualize and conceptualize before. You're moving beyond using what you already know as a point of reference from which to create. This enhanced clairvoyance will enable you to imagine what you thought was impossible. And this is what is needed for architects to help them create the new earth." So this collective is very clairvoyant, and this may be something that you already are aware of, or you may not actually see your abilities in this way. So you would be somebody that has a very vivid imagination. You are able to see pictures and images in your mind very clearly. Like creative visualization is something that comes easy to you. Like you consider yourself a very visual person. And you might not be aware that this is actually a psychic ability as well. So people who are very visual, their clairvoyance as far as their psychic abilities go, because we all have psychic ability, right? We're spirits having a human experience, and spirit communicates through their subtle senses. And if you are a very visual person, then the corollary psychic sense that goes with that is clairvoyance. So that's kind of like a hint that clairvoyance is one of your strongest psychic abilities. So I'm also curious if you know that you're clairvoyant, or did you not realize that you are clairvoyant, but you do recognize yourself as being somebody who is very visual and can, see pictures in vivid detail in your mind. So very curious about that too. So Spirit is saying that clairvoyance isn't just for receiving images. So when someone is clairvoyant, they can see images from spirit, like almost like a telepathically received information. So that's how we receive information from spirit. It happens through like telepathic means, just meaning it's like a transfer of information. So when it happens through your clairvoyant sense, it comes through as images and pictures, sometimes even like short little like movie like scenes. So Spirit's saying that it's not just for receiving information in your mind, it's also a tool that you can use for creation. And they're urging you to use this gift to help create the energetic structure and vibration of the new earth. Now, if you're familiar with using creative visualization for like manifesting, for example, then you're already familiar with how to do this. But Spirit's just trying to make like a special distinction that it's not just using your imagination, you're actually using this clairvoyant psychic ability to do this. And the more that you do this, the stronger this psychic sense will get. And it's something that you can use as a tool to create with, but it's also something that Spirit will use to communicate with you. And it's going to help you really think in a new way and think outside of the box when it comes to imagining the new earth. So this is one of the things that you are here in your light working mission to do, is to help create the new earth, but doing it from like an energetic perspective first. We aren't so much in this collective like boots on the ground kind of people who are going to be creating the physical structures. We are here as forerunners, creating the new earth first from an energetic foundation. And that's how all things are created. Everything is created from energy first, through thoughts and vibration first. And Spirit really wants to emphasize that this collective that I'm speaking to, your role is to be one of the people that is creating this energetic foundation for the new earth. And it's tricky, it's difficult because you're not seeing like the physical results right away, but they want you to know that what you're doing, this work that you're doing on the energetic level, is so important. It's making such a huge difference, and it's really setting that foundation, that framework for the new earth. Spirit is saying that the images you're creating in your mind of what you want to see, what you would like the new earth to look like, is going out. These images are going out into like a future as an energetic form, kind of like a hologram. I'm seeing it, and it's waiting to come into physical form at a later point in time. But you are the ones that are creating these images, these forms, but they're just in like an energetic kind of crystalline state at this point. And they're saying that this practice is so powerful, but another piece that is equally as important is withdrawing your attention and energy from what you don't like that you're seeing in the world around you at this time. And this isn't easy because, you know, it's in your face and it's everywhere all the time. But when you focus on those things, you are feeding them with energy, which only strengthens and solidifies them. So Lightworkers have to find a way to be in the world and participate, you know, like in normal, everyday human kinds of things, but to have a very different mindset, like a higher perspective and vibration. So for example, like, can you be in conversations like regarding different difficult topics, but not let yourself get into a fear state or a feeling of anxiety or constriction? Like, can you keep yourself calm and open-hearted, like your body and your nervous system? You want to really be aware right now of how you are feeling in your body and how you're reacting to what you see around you. Now, part of that, what can help is limiting the amount that you are taking in, you know, like the news and social media, and engaging in these kinds of difficult conversations. Because you know you have this special mission, Spirit wants you to take extra special care of yourself, your energy body, like protecting your energy, protecting your psyche. All of that is really important so you can stay in a higher vibration and do this energy work in creating the new earth. So you have to kind of have a higher awareness of what you're here to do. And so you are here to be different. You're kind of being asked to be different than everyone else. And what I'm getting is this is something that you are used to. Like, you're used to feeling like you don't quite fit in. I feel like this collective probably has a lot of people who would consider themselves to be like black sheep, in your family, in your friend groups, just in life in general. You've always seen the world differently. And Spirit is saying that this is a gift. Up until now, it may have made your life feel difficult, but you're here for a very specific reason. You incarnated at this time to do this work. So Spirit is saying it's time to kind of pull back a bit from the 3D world as much as you can, as much as it's comfortable for you to still, be participating in the world and relating to people, but at the same time protecting your energy and not letting yourself get into fear and anxiety about the current state of affairs, because Spirit is saying that energy is only strengthening and solidifying what we don't want. What we see in the world right now is crumbling. And what helps that dissolve, what helps the change come, is dissolving the old structures. And one of the ways we do that is by pulling back our energy from what we are already seeing. What we see now are things that were created from past vibrations, past thoughts, and all of that. And in order to create something new, we have to, and better, if what we would call better, something of a higher vibration, we have to get into that higher vibration now and be in an elevated kind of way of just being in the world and thinking and really protecting our thoughts, our mind, our vibration. Something else that Spirit is saying is don't use what you already know as a starting point for imagining what you want to create. So this is something that's been coming through a lot recently for this collective and this goes along with kind of pulling your attention away from what you already see in the world. In addition to that, don't look at what you already know, like from the past, to create the future, as far as like coming up with ideas. Like when you get into this creative, imaginatory kind of space, this is very like Aquarian, like Age of Aquarius kind of thinking. And it's pretty cool that I think just a couple days ago, we moved into the zodiac season of Aquarius, but we're also in the age of Aquarius as far as this new era goes. And this calls for, and the energy supports, this kind of very innovative thinking, like outside of the box thinking. So we're not looking to the past to see what was done before and trying to tweak it. We actually want to be creating something entirely new. So I received all this information in meditation, and then I felt called to pull some cards. So I felt called to use the Keepers of Light Oracle deck, and these two cards fell out. And I love it because they both have very different energies, but they have the same message. So Diana's card says, think about what you desire. And the Holy Amethyst card says, focus on what you desire. So both of these cards are speaking about focusing. And this is relating back to what Spirit said about it's important for those of us who are here to create the new earth to really be intentional and really focus our energy on what we want and not on what we don't want. It's like the classic law of attraction, positive thinking kind of thing. Like, we're all familiar with this, especially as light workers, but it's really hard to put into practice, especially with the way the world is at this time. But you are being asked to really step fully into your soul mission and take this task of using your vibration and your master visualization skills and your amazing imagination as well as your understanding of the need to protect your energy from things that can lower your vibration, and the importance of not feeding energy into the current systems and structures of the world that need to go. Like, we really need to be different in this world at this time. So these cards both talk about that, need to focus. Something else that's coming through is Spirit is saying you can't fix what's wrong because it's not broken, it's dead. In other words, it's not even fixable. So they're showing me like a car battery. So like when a car battery dies, you don't fix the car battery. You have to get a whole new one. It's not even fixable. And Spirit is saying that is where we are at this time. Like, we're not here as light workers to fix the existing structures of this world. Those things, it's time for them to go, basically, is what Spirit's saying. It's time for those things to go. They aren't even fixable. It's time for us to focus on creating something brand new from like the ground up, which means from the energetic level up. And that's what this collective is here doing, is you're creating the new earth now through your energy, through your vibration, through your creative visualization skills, basically. So I want to start with this card here. So Holy Amethyst. So both of these cards have very different vibrations. This card here touches on the third eye. She even has this little symbol here indicating the third eye, the color purple. It's funny, I already had like all these like amethyst colored things on my desk. So I'm really feeling called to work with amethyst right now, which obviously is a crystal commonly associated with opening the third eye. So this is something that this collective is really experiencing right now, is this expansion and this clearing of your third eye. So you can use it at like an advanced level. And this card also says, move beyond current challenges. And I think that's just speaking to what Spirit was saying about literally moving beyond what you're already seeing, these challenges, and not trying to fix these challenges that we have at the moment, and just focus on doing this higher level spiritual work. And for this collective, using your third eye at this time is something that's going to be really helpful for that. Now, but Diana has a very different energy, right? She's very grounded. So I love that this higher like energy centers, that's kind of indicated by the Holy Amethyst card, is conversed with this Diana card, speaking to the need to ground this energy. So this is something that we're working with both at the same time. Like, we're bringing in this higher energy, but we need to, sorry, I bought my camera. We need to ground this high vibrational energy into our bodies and really kind of use this higher vibration bring it into our bodies and send it down into the earth. And that's kind of something else that we're doing besides the creative like visualization piece, is we're doing that, but then we're very intentionally connecting it with Mother Earth, because we're co-creating with her at this time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Diana. So I started being like reached out to by Diana in just the last week through various different signs and synchronicities. And I didn't realize what they were speaking to at first. So I've been seeing crescent moons and arrows everywhere, and also keys. So I'm going to talk about the key part in just a minute, because I didn't realize that could be associated with Diana. And this might be something that you experience in the coming like days and weeks. So just be on the lookout for different signs and things happening around you where she might be reaching out to you to work with. So I'm just now starting to work with her. So I don't really have a whole lot to share about what that might look like. And of course, for each of us, it's going to be different. But this might be a deity that you feel called to work with. And if you feel called to, and you don't feel like you're seeing signs, but you do feel called, especially after I share some things that I learned about Diana, if you feel called to work with her, you can reach out to her and just ask her to come to you and to support you in this work. So Diana was a Roman moon goddess of the hunt and of the wilderness and forests, wild and domestic animals, and a protector of women and childbirth. She was also depicted in triple form, like the triple goddess, governing 3 realms, day, night, and the underworld. So I thought that was really interesting with the underworld because that is where the keys came in for me. Like I just keep seeing keys everywhere. I lost a key last week. I've pulled so many cards this week, like oracle cards in my own readings, and they all have keys on them. So I knew that keys were associated with Hecate, and she's a goddess of the underworld. But there are multiple goddesses associated with the underworld, and Hecate was a name that was given to Diana when she went into the underworld. At least that's one of the interpretations that I read. I know there's different interpretations of the different myths, but that was something that I read. So there's definitely something here about working with earth magic. And I think that's probably something that's a little bit separate from this particular message about this whole third eye activation. But I think for this particular collective, there is definitely something with working with both cosmic and earth energies. And I've mentioned this on another video, but this collective, you are very comfortable in working with both like earth-based magic and higher dimensional, like cosmic, angelic, galactic type frequencies. And it's because you're a very old soul. You've had many incarnations in many, many places. So you're very comfortable with all different kinds of energies, and you can float easily between the 2 different kinds of energies, the different realms. So right now, Diana is reaching out to work with us in this as well, especially with the focus. So, Diana is a very like fierce feminine energy, and she is the goddess of the hunt. And typically the hunt was associated with men, but she is a feminine representation of this masculine energy. So that's another thing, that this collective is very balanced in the feminine and masculine energies. And there's a real emphasis with the new earth creation of bringing more of the feminine and just overall just a more balanced energy. And at this particular time, we really need to, like, the feminine energy needs to be infused into the world, but in a very powerful way, in a way that is like sovereign and powerful. And that's just a whole other topic, but like really like women or, people who are very comfortable in their feminine energy, stepping more into their masculine energy. So that's just kind of like a topic for another time, but that is key there. And Diana was considered a virgin who vowed not to marry. And that speaks to her independence. And that ties into the part of this message about focus. It's like not letting any distractions keep you from your mission. So I thought that was really neat how, that tied in with the focus piece. And she was also known to have a preference for dwelling on high mountains and forests alone. And again, this just ties back into this collective being very comfortable, kind of being the black sheep and working on your own. And this is I feel like this collective is being asked to do a lot of this energetic work, like on your own. Like we're all doing it simultaneously, like we're being independent, but together. Like we're collectively working together, but doing it in a very individual kind of way, because we each have our own kind of essence that we're bringing to this creation of the new earth. So I think that's really beautiful. I'm just looking at my notes. I took notes on what I got from this when I was researching Diana. The other thing was that, I'm going to put the card down. Diana was considered to reflect the heavenly world in that she was indifferent to secular matters. However, she was active in ensuring the succession of kings and the preservation of humankind through the protection of children. And what stood out to me in that was that she was indifferent to secular matters. So that speaks to that aspect of this message of pulling back from like the worldly matters that are going on right now. And your focus is on the preservation of humanity, just like with Diana. And we're doing that through our efforts by, creating that energetic framework that will support a new experience of humanity that's vibrating at a higher level of consciousness. Because the current state of humanity can't survive where it's at. And we need to ascend. So it's just, she's supporting us in embodying that sovereignty, that independence, that pulling away from the world, like pulling away from the 3D world, is a really big part of this, and something that Spirit is asking this collective to do, and to really focus on spending time in like meditation. And what Spirit told me actually just this morning was to spend like 5 minutes every day in a meditative state where you are intentionally visualizing what it is you would like to see, what you would envision for humanity and for Mother Earth in the new earth. And Spirit is saying that this is making a huge difference. So, I'd love to know if you feel like you've been being reached out to by Diana, or if you feel called to do that. I would love to know. So I think I'm going to leave this message here. I would love to know your thoughts and your feelings on this, like pulling back from the world and spending time focusing in meditation on creating the new earth in a very energetic way. Like, does this resonate with you? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and sharing this video with anybody you think might resonate with this message. And subscribe to my channel if this message resonated with you. I'm really hoping to bring this collective of lightworkers together on my channel. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you really soon. Bye now.